Hey everyone, it's Suey here. I have a moment to myself, so I'm going to hurry and do this book tag that I was tagged in last week by Ellen Made Book Club. It is an original tag by Aaron Read a Book. This one is called the BookTuber Name tag, and I find this one to be a very fun and creative book tag. Way to go, Aaron. The idea behind this one is a list of popular, well-loved booktubers and to find a book that is reminiscent of their booktuber name. A book that connects to their booktuber name. You'll see what I mean. And I subscribe to many of these channels and they're all awesome. I think there's a couple that I don't, so I'm gonna have to go check them out. But yeah, if you don't subscribe to these channels, then it's a nice list of awesome booktubers to check out for sure. The first one is Books I'm Not Reading. The prompt for this channel name is a book that's been on your TBR forever. Well, that is a lot of books, but there is one. I was looking to see if I have it. It's not by me. I never think to grab all the books and gather them up and have them by me. So, oh well. Anyway, this one I'm reading right now. It's called The Distant Hours by Kate Morton. I'm almost done, like maybe 40 pages left. I hope I finish it tonight. And it has been on the TBR for I do not know how many years. I don't even remember where I got this one. I have no idea, but it's been a long, long time. So I'm happy to have finally read this one. I'll do a review about it, a little more detail, but it was a little slow start. It got going, I got into it, and I've really, really enjoyed it. So I'll tell you more about that one in another video. The next one is novel iDeea. Prompt for this one is a book with an interesting premise or plot device. And I thought of The Measure by whoever that one's by, because I just barely read it. And I know that Ellen mentioned this one too, so I feel like I'm copying her, but no, I already thought of this one before I realized that she mentioned it also. Who is that one by? Do I have that one by me? Where is it? I don't even know where any of my books are at. Okay, who wrote that one? Mickey? Mickey somebody. I think that's who it was. Anyway, the interesting premise. A very, very interesting premise where everyone gets a string that indicates the length of their life and how the world is turned upside down by it, because suddenly the people with short strings are discriminated against. Because who would want to hire a short stringer? Who would want to have a short stringer adopt their baby? Who would want to elect a short stringer to be the president? Lots of things like this. And it's very eye-opening to kind of how our world works. It's just really crazy. So, but then it also makes you realize how you should totally enjoy your life, no matter how short or long your string is. It's a very good moral to the story also. Revenant Reads, a book where someone has returned from the dead. This one took me a minute. I scrolled through the books I've read recently. I can't think of any book where somebody has returned from the dead. But then I saw the Midnight Library, which I read quite a while back. And this one sort of works because she kind of sort of dies. She kind of goes into another realm. She wants to die. And she ends up living all these other lives and then eventually comes back to her own life. Is that a spoiler? I don't think it's really a spoiler because I think it's something that everyone can figure out from the book. So yeah, I think it kind of fits. CriminOlly, a book where a crime takes place. I don't really read very many books where crimes are happening, but I scrolled through my list of books and saw The Trial by Franz Kafka on my list, which I thought was a funny one to add to this one because he's on trial for something. I guess a crime took place, but he doesn't know what it is. And we as readers never know what it is. And it's sort of this baffling thing that he has to go through this trial, but we don't know what the crime is. So I thought it was a funny one to list for this one. Book Time with Elvis, a book about time travel, or someone named Elvis. For this one, I chose The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. It's not really time travel, but it is a time loop, like Groundhog Day, where our girl gets to keep living Valentine's Day over and over again so she can have her perfect Valentine's Day. Middle of the book, March. Your favorite book that you read in March. I looked through my March books. I read a few that I quite liked, but for this one, we'll say Beartown by Frederick Bachman. Now I'm hearing a lot of my book clubber friends are continuing on with the series, and they are saying that the rest of the series is amazing. So I'm really anxious to try and fit in all of the other books for that series, but I've only at this point read the first one, and it is pretty good, a little depressing, but amazing writing and characterization, as all Frederick Bachman books are. Okay, the next one is Book Buds, a book with a great friendship. I've talked about this one quite a bit, but one of the more recent books I read with a great friendship is Tree Table Book by Lois Lowry, where we have a friendship between an 11-year-old girl and how old is she? 88-year-old woman, grandma. They have a very good friendship, and Sophie, they're both named Sophie. Our young Sophie is very concerned about the plans that the old Sophie's family has in store for her. And she is working very hard to try and make it so that she can stick around and not have to move. Obscure Book Adventures, a book that you love that never gets talked about. Well, one book I've loved recently is This Woven Kingdom by Tara Mafi. I don't see anybody else talking about it. I'm pretty sure that there's other people out there that have read it that have liked it or loved it. Maybe in the book blogging world, but in the book vlogging world, I haven't seen very many people talking about it at all. So I would love to pump this book up more. I've been raving about it since I read it. Such a great fantasy story. Tons of things I loved about it. So the next one is Savage Reads, a book with a monster, a beast, or a human acting monstrously or beastly. Well, there's tons of books with humans acting monstrous or beastly, but I chose to go with a book that has a monster or a beast, which is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. And this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And in this particular story, he's not a beast as she gets to know him, but he will turn into a beast as time goes by. So he's very anxious about turning into a beast before he gets things worked out with our girl. So it's a little bit different than the familiar story Beauty and the Beast. But he does turn into a monster or a beast. He's kind of a beast more than a monster, I would say, but yeah. And then the last one is a book that fits your own channel name or the name of a channel that you love. Well, I recently read Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman, and there is a lot of awesome bantering between our angel and our demon in that book. There's a lot of books with great banter, but since that's one that I read recently, I thought I would throw that one out there again. So for Suey's book, Banter, tell me what books you love with great banter, because that is one of my most favorite things in a book. So I would love to know what you would say for my channel name. That's it for this one. I would like to tag the Grape Jelly Library, Just Book Girl TV, and Fiber Artsy. Probably you've already been tagged, but just in case you haven't, there you go. Lots of people have been tagged on this one, I think. It's a fun one. Thank you so much, Erin, for doing this, and Ellen for tagging me, and awesome concept for a book tag. Hopefully I will find a moment to do some other videos because I'm really struggling with that right now. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.